Hello, guys. Welcome back to another exciting episode on the show, Control or Be Controlled, podcast designed to help you start thinking differently and take control of your life. And I remain your host, Darlington. Today's guest is Richard Emmanuel, an experimental marketing entrepreneur and founder of DMA Events, a company that has produced more than 1,500 events and brand activations worldwide for global corporations, luxury brands, trade shows, conferences, and life experiences. Richard, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
All right, so I would also like you to introduce yourself to my audience.
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Richard. I live in Toronto, Canada, and I work with clients all over the world. My background, I started as a photographer and I pushed the envelope. I ended up working with the royal family and presidents of countries. And then I took the photography and made it into a global business by helping brands with their businesses, helping businesses to grow, to think better, focus better, get more leads. And it's been a very exciting journey. I've been able to work with a lot of amazing people. And I'm here today to go over some ideas and tips to help you grow and to be a better business person.
Okay, thank you so much, Richard. So I have some questions here for you, and I would like us to get into these questions. Okay, you have produced more than 1,500 events around the world. What have you learned about what makes an experience truly memorable?
So, working with thousands of clients, I realized one thing. It's like the lottery. You got to play to win. And the clients that hire us, they want to win. Everybody thinks they could do things themselves, but sometimes when you take that big leap or make that big decision to work with a professional company, you will see different type of results. And so being able to work with so many clients, I realize that these are businesses that want to see results, they want to grow, and they want to provide quality. It's like imagine owning a restaurant business, but you're not serving good food and people are not going to come. So you want to serve the best food, create the best experience for people to come back. And it's the same thing with your business. You can't just cut corners all the time. You have to invest in your business. And the clients we work with, that's exactly what they want to do. And then they come to us and we help them come out with brand campaigns or creative ideas or ways to engage and entertain not just their clients, but a lot of internal staff. Building culture in a company, you have to create a fun environment. You can't just say, I'm going to build culture in a company and not do anything about it. And during Christmas, have a small little dinner and everybody goes home. No, you have to build an environment where people are engaging and having fun and creating experiences. And that's the kind of stuff that we do. We help to create experiences. We help to build a culture within internal brands and working with companies from Walt Disney to McDonald's to L'Oreal to Porsche to Netflix and so on and so forth. We were able to see how much time and investment companies build to actually create a culture, or if they're trying to bring on new clients, how much time they actually put into that. So what I've learned is if you're a small business, you have to take steps to grow and scale and be around successful people that have done it before so you can see the rewards of all the efforts you put into it.
Okay, thank you so much, Richard. So many brands invest heavily in trade shows but struggle to attract attention. What are the biggest mistakes companies make when trying to stand out?
So trade shows is a big part of DMA. And by the way, DMA stands for Digital Mirror Activations. Our concept was to take a regular mirror, replace it with digital so we can create these kind of fun experiences. And trade shows, the biggest mistake that I've seen is people don't have the right staff. You could have the owner of the company. Maybe he's good at numbers and he's good at building the business, but maybe he's not the best person to be at a trade show, smiling and talking and high energy. And sometimes I see the wrong people at the trade show booth. So it starts there. Number two mistake is they don't put proper design and branding, for the posters or the backdrops. If it looks bad, it's a reflection of you. So number one is having the wrong people in the booth who are not the high energy people you need at a trade show. Number two is the look, the design. And number three is creating an experience to get people to come into your booth. So, a lot of people just sit there and wait for somebody to come speak to them. When people hire us at DMA, our goal is to get people to come into your booth. And we use different techniques and different types of experiential activations to do that.
Okay, so how can smaller businesses create impactful events experiences without having the massive budget of global brands?
So we have come up with a new concept for clients who have a smaller budgets, and we call it DMA Engage. And the difference is instead of having the hardware inside your trade show booth or at your gala, your fundraiser, your holiday party, we create a QR code where guests can scan it and create an experience on their phones. So you're going to save on not having the actual hardware there and just have a QR code, and people can still scan the QR code and they can create maybe a trading card, make themselves look like they're a sports player, a basketball player, football player, or they could turn themselves into a superhero. Basically, our technology is to create a theme that you want to go with. We put your logo on every single photo. So when people take their phone and scan it, they upload a picture of themselves or a selfie, and the result is an incredible high quality image with your logo on it. And then we can also do exchange of data with using compliance. So your client gets a good logo with the picture, and they're happy with the photo, and in return you get their email address. So there's an exchange of goods, and we found and there's ways to do it properly, which we could talk about later.
Okay, thank you so much, Richard. So, can you tell us what separates a basic booth or sponsorship presence from a brand activation that people like the ones that people actually remember?
So people remember things where it makes you think and ask yourself, like these days, you look at the internet and you don't know what's real or what's not real with AI. So why not take advantage of that? So for example, we have a client and they wanted to create something that's a little bit more viral. And so what we're doing is you come into the booth, you take a picture using our photo booth, and then we make it look like you're in a hot air balloon flying over, the city, or you are in a wingsuit, something you would see Red Bull do, and we can actually make that into a video. So technically, I could take a picture of you and make it look like you're flying in a wingsuit over a city or in a hot air balloon. And when you post that, people may call you and say, "Hey, did you actually go in a hot air balloon? That's so cool." And so it's creating experiences that make people really ask themselves, like, how is this possible? Did you do that? Those are really memorable. Also working with robots. Robots are new and they're exciting. People haven't seen them. So when we bring a robot to an event, people take pictures with it like a celebrity. Those are memorable. Or sometimes creating a 360 experience. Get a bunch of people on the platform. They're dancing. They're having fun. They're enjoying themselves. Memorable. So a lot of the activations we do, the goal is to make them memorable experiences. It all really depends on how much room you have, and what your thoughts are and kind of where your budget is, and we can custom make it from something extravagant to the QR code. So really, there's a big range of budgets to help all businesses.
Okay. So tell us how AI has changed the way companies approach experimental marketing and live events, because AI is currently changing a lot in a lot of things.
Yeah. So experiential marketing, and using the AI is really incredible these days. When it first started, it wasn't great, but now we can work with any theme. So if you're having an event and you want to do a theme that makes it look like it's the 80s or the 70s, or you want to do something which futuristic, or you want to do something and make it look like you're on a safari or you're in New York City, we can take an image of somebody, make them look like in any time and place. We can also control the clothing they're wearing. We can control putting the logos on the clothing. So the technology is really, really incredible to create high quality content. So when people share it, it actually gets lots of views.
Okay. So trade shows are often about generating leads. Can you share with us some strategies that you have seen work best for turning attendees into real business opportunities? Because most of the times when you have these trade shows, you can have a lot of attendees but zero business opportunity.
Yeah, so there is a strategy to create that. At DMA, we always work on, the event. What are we doing before the event, and what do you do after the event? It's a three-part act: before, during, after. So you really have a strategy ready in advance before the show. You don't want to collect the data and then ask yourself, what am I going to do with it? So you have to have a full strategy in place. And then, people will give you their email address if you give them quality, something in return. So, sometimes we do custom hats where we create hats for people, or we have laser machines. We could take a luggage tag and put your, personalized name on it, or take a picture with our AI booth. As long as you're providing people with something that's really cool, the quality looks amazing, they'll happily do an exchange. But just remember, every country has different laws on disclaimers on how you can use that data. So you have to make sure that you're following the rules of the country you're in to legally collect an email and follow up with the clients after.
Okay. So share with us the roles of QR codes, uh, mobile experiences, and digital engagement tools. That's the roles that they play before an event and during the event, before an event, during the event, and after the event.
So, in my opinion, one of the positive things out of COVID, which there is really nothing positive out of it, but it forced us to start using QR codes again. And before COVID, nobody wanted to use QR codes. They weren't sexy, they weren't fun. But when COVID happened, every restaurant was QR codes, everything was no touch. So because of that, the QR code is back, and humanity and people are more acceptable to use it. So when you're at a trade show or a gala or a fundraiser or a launch or whatever you're doing for your business, showing a QR code is now more recognizable. And also it solves the problem if you have a hardware, you might have a lineup of people taking a picture, but with a QR code, you can have hundreds of people doing it at the same time. So it solves the problem of the bottleneck. Instead of doing, one person at a time, you can do hundreds of people at a time could scan it. If there's no room and you're a business and you're trying to do some kind of, engagement, if you don't have much room, you get a QR code, you print it, doesn't take up much space. Or if you're a business and you want to reach thousands of people or 10,000 people or 50,000 people all in one day, you can use a QR code, put it up on a billboard, and then people will use that as a way to connect and create the content and that is what QR code's all about. It's very popular, and we custom design it strategically so it works exactly to the business. So there's stuff that goes into it, but QR codes are a bonus right now, and we're really happy working and helping our clients use them.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for explaining and breaking down how QR code can be very effective for our businesses. So, what advice would you give entrepreneurs who want to build a premium service business in a very competitive market?
Well, first of all, you need a business plan. That's something you can do now with your LLMs. Once you have a business plan, you need a designer to help you put a website together, put all your materials together, because you may be good at design and you can get help, but it's always good to have a professional designer to make sure that your design works with your brand. The biggest mistake people do is try to do everything themselves, and your website is your storefront. So you want to create a good business plan. You want to make sure you have a good designer to make sure your website, your business cards, your postcards, your brochure all look great. And then you work with a company like DMA to help you build the leads.
Okay, so how do you measure the success of an experiential marketing campaign beyond just attendance numbers? How to measure success?
That's a good question. So we have technology that at the end of each event, we could tell you how many people use the machine. We could tell you how many were males and females. We can also tell you what their age groups are, and then provide you with a spreadsheet of advanced analytics, including emails, to kind of give you an idea of how many people used it, how many people shared it, and then you are having now data to go with the activation. So if you put a billboard, or a magazine, you can kind of guesstimate how many people are seeing it, but you don't really know. Our technology, we do special features that the camera can measure your face. It doesn't know who you are, but it knows if you're male or female and how old you are. And then using all of that data, you can now know exactly your return on investment of how many people used it and shared it. And there's different tips and tricks you can do with contests to even increase the engagement tenfold.
Okay, so Richard, you always mention we have a technology, we have a technology. This particular technology, is it only exclusive to you guys?
That's a good question. So I realize that, everybody has access to ChatGPT, but when you use ChatGPT, you're always adjusting the prompts, right? You do something and you say, "Oh, do it a little different, do a little different." So when we say we have our technology, we built our own softwares to use all the best parts of every type of LLM out there. There's more than just ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. There's a lot. There's so many. So we use all the best pieces to put together whatever it is that we're trying to create. And then we have people that are continually changing and updating the prompts to work so it works effectively. When you're dealing with large brands, there's no room for error. And so our technology is comprised of proprietary software that we've built, and also having trained people, not just learning how to use it, but how to program it so it works seamlessly. There's one rule in Hollywood when we first started doing business, which was, we'll do business with you, Richard, but don't embarrass us. And that is kind of how you want to think about it when you're running your business. You want to make sure your business looks good and you don't embarrass yourself by doing something that's not a reflection of you or your business.
Okay, so here is my final question for you. What advice, okay, looking ahead, what do you believe the future of life events and brand experiences will look like?
So after COVID, live events went really, really high because during the COVID time in, different parts of the world, everybody was locked up. So there was a big surge for it, and humanity realized that you need to be together to rally the troops. If you're a company, an organization, and you have hundreds of people working for you, or even 5 or 10 people working for you, there's a difference between doing a Zoom call or having people together in the same room. And so the same thing with live events. Live events will always be popular. Human to human connections are going to be really popular. Obviously with AI and the AI agents doing a lot of business in the back end, there's going to be more and more popular moving forward, where a lot of the transactions are going to be done while you're sleeping. But I believe that events and live events are very, very important for you to be relevant, for you to be seen, for customers to know who you are. And if you follow the steps, to have a good looking presence, have a designer to help you to make sure your presentation materials look good, make sure your website looks good, and you go out there and you show up and be friendly and have good people, the business will come. The business will come. You just have to focus. You have to have a passion to succeed. And my final thing would be is just to go simple, create a vision board, put the image on the vision board of what you want your business to be, how you want it to look, what you want out of it. Just put it on the vision board, cut and paste it, write it down, make pictures, look at it every day. And if you do that, your success rate will climb drastically by just following your vision and be hyper focused.
Okay, Richard, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your insights and showing us how powerful experiences can be when brands focus on creating genuine connections rather than simply promoting products. The work demonstrates that the best marketing is not just something people see, it's something they feel, remember, and want to share. For those that would like to learn more about you and DMA events and how brands can create stronger experiences, how can they do that?
Yeah, thank you. If anybody needs any help or support for their businesses moving forward, our website is digitalmirror.ca. I'm on LinkedIn as 416 underscore rich, and our social media is DMA Events Group. I hope success to all of you. And if anybody needs any help to scale their business or create some kind of experiential brand activations, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help.
All right, once again, Richard, thank you so much. And thank you to all my audience. You guys make sure to check out DMA. What they are doing is very, very fantastic. As a small business, as an aspiring big business, check out their work and see how you can be able to make the most of your brand. Richard, thank you so much for coming. And thanks to my audience as well. And you all have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you and have a wonderful day.